Hello, my name is Ilona and today is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. And there's something I just wanted to share. I obviously also do lives and they are in Dutch, although I think you can see it with subtitles if you are interested in that. And in my live of Monday evening, I actually looked at something that has to do with farm shops. Here in the Netherlands, we have farms that have like little shops. They sell local products. And in a certain city council, they decided to create all kinds of rules. So it would almost be impossible for people to sell things from their farms or, to start little shops. So I actually looked at it on Monday and I saw that there was going to be a victory and it was going to fall apart. Well, the day after that, on Tuesday, I actually got confirmation of that apparently there was a motion that someone actually applied in the city council. It means they wanted to subject against all these rules, and it was granted. So a lot of people that are involved in creating these shops and of course working on the farm were completely against all these rules and applied themselves, got together and asked to have these rules removed, and it worked. It was very interesting because I believe that this is a sign that people are capable of changing things in their city council on a local level. And obviously if that happens on a local level, we can change things on a broader level. And I see this as a sign that things are changing and people are really fed up with all these rules. So obviously this is a good thing because people can now still sell and buy things from local shops and local farms. So I just wanted to mention that. There was something, I'm not sure if I'm going to take a look at it or not, and that has to do with Tucker Carlson actually came out with an admission that apparently the administration of Mr. B, that's of course before Mr. T, now is Mr. T there, but before that was Mr. B, wanted to get rid of Mr. P of Russia. That's quite an admission. Interesting, so we'll have to see what will come out of that. Another thing, the press in the White House, we of course have now a new press liaison, I think, who's working for the White House, actually mentioned that the White House and all those press conferences are now open for independent journalists as well. Social media influencers, podcasters. So I've already seen a few people like Bio Cladiston, who is an independent journalist who actually came out with all the information of the labs in the Ukraine, is now also trying to apply for a pass to actually join the mainstream media. So that is completely falling apart, and it fits very well with, of course, what I saw in my video on Monday concerning, of course, the energy of the mainstream media, that really things are changing. It's falling apart. Nobody's really looking at CNN anymore. And also here in the Netherlands, people are not really watching the news anymore. I do believe that a lot of people are just, turning away from that. There will always be a group of people watching it, but more people are looking at independent media, podcasters, social media influencers, independent journalists. So I think this is great that the White House is opening its doors for those people. And I think this is very clear sign things are changing. Another thing, that there is a ban on operations on children concerning, of course, gender and things like that. So that is in the United States of America. So Mr. T is really moving ahead. The thing I looked at in my Dutch video, if you want to see me shuffling the cards, of course you can watch my Dutch video, has to do with the European Union. It's very interesting, but Mr. T is not very interested in the European Union. He wants to connect with countries, separate. And this is really the end of the European Union, because he's kind of moving past the European Union and connecting directly with countries, and it will bring back the sovereignty of a country, the independence. I think this is a clear sign that he really shows that he is not part of the global agenda, because then he would have remained in the WHO. He, of course, removed the USA from that. He would have remained in the climate agreement in Paris, removed himself from that as well in the USA, obviously. And he would have, talked to the European Union, because that is all part of that global agenda. To me, these are clear signs he's moving away from that, and he wants a different structure. There was also something very interesting. This is in the Dutch media, and it is headline in a newspaper, The Telegraaf, that Brussels is now making a turn. So that's the European Union, because they want to change direction, because there are too many rules, and it's just overwhelming people. And also all these green deals, or what did they mention? I thought that was very interesting. Those green ideals are no longer holy for the European Commission. Yes, how did that happen? Interesting. I have a feeling that Mr. T has something to do with it, and the change, of course, of direction in other countries as well, and people fed up with everything. Very interesting. So change is already happening, and I've, of course, taken a look at the energy of the European Union, and this is the first card I got. King of Wands to me is this white hat, Mr. T card obviously as well, so I do think that things are changing. Seven of Swords is the central card. They are trying to get away with things. It's not going to work. They have the Tower card in the past, so things are already falling apart. I do believe that the European Union it's already kind of done, but we still have to publicly see this happening, because not everyone will completely understand it. So there needs to be phases to bring people up to speed. I also have the Star card underneath the Seven of Swords. So that's an influence. I do believe that's white hats, also alien, different dimensions, also trying to influence, of course, this European Union. It needs to fall apart. And we see for the near future the Two of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. So to me it feels like they're trying to get away with things. They're trying to course correct to remain, of course, still of importance, but it's kind of falling apart with all these white hat influences, all these influences from other dimensions as well. Higher dimensions. That's how I view things. That's my perspective. We also have the Two of Pentacles. They're trying to, it will seem like they're trying to balance things, but all pains, all things are coming up. And it's really just falling apart. And it's important that all these old things, scandals are coming out, so people will understand, moving away from this European Union, and that we really don't want that anymore. It will be falling apart. So that is very important. And I think that this is just speeding it to the ground. Interesting times that we are living in. Another thing I want to mention, I also made again, a Dutch live where I was talking about Mr. T. There was still a lot of confusion. Which side is he on? Is he white hats? Is he dark energies? A lot of people think that he's just now doing all these great things, and then suddenly he's going to turn and it's going to be awful. And in my live of Thursday, I do believe I've got English subtitles as well. Again, if you want to watch that. And I believe the subtitles have changed for the better, so it's easier to understand what I'm talking about. But I really, am this is how I feel about Mr. T. I see him as working for the white hats, having a role, moving things along, especially when I see all the things that he has already done within a week. Finding children, which is of course against the dark energies. They want those children, so they're not going to be happy at all that they're found. Separating from the WHO, moving away from that Paris climate agreement, stepping away from all these things. He is just, stepping away from the European Union. To me, this all is a signal that he is moving away from this globalist agenda, from these dark energies. He is not in how to say this, not very happy with all these climate things. He sees this as as a hoax, and he's very clear about that. He doesn't want any wind turbines. He doesn't want anything of that. So to me, it seems like he's completely against everything the dark energies stand for, and I do feel that he actually feels that way. But I understand that other people will interpret it in a different way and will see it, well, that's just the dark energies. They're trying to fool you. They make you think that he's this great guy and then he's going to turn. And I also mentioned in my life, I have a few things I'm not going to agree to, I'm not going to comply with, I never will comply with, because apparently also there was this thing about AI and these stings that had to do with another disease that is with the C. There's also a star sign named after this disease, which happened to be my own star sign. I was born in July 9th, so I'm sure people will figure it out then what I'm talking about, the C disease. And people were wondering, oh, that must be dark energy. And I was like, I don't think it is. I think he is actually showing the light on what is going on. And more things will come out because he's bringing people in the light. But I fully understand that people will see it differently, interpret that differently. But this is how I see things. And this is how I feel about it. And it's very important that we follow our own compass in that. So follow what feels right to you. And, agree where you want to put your focus on. Because I see a lot of people, especially in the people that are watching my videos or reacting to my videos, kind of like a ping pong ball. Then suddenly, and this is mainly on Dutch videos, but then suddenly they are pro Mr. T, and then suddenly something happens, something comes out, and then suddenly they are against it again. And it's like, pick a lane, pick a lane. And focus on that. And this is what I want to focus on. I don't see him as some kind of savior. I don't think we should put anyone on a pedestal. And like I mentioned, if he does something with forcefully, wants to put stings in people, or if for some reason suddenly wants to bring in the digital currency, then I am, not going to comply. It doesn't matter if he's Mr. T or not. I'm not going to comply with that. Just because I see him as playing a role doesn't mean I completely lost my, critical thinking or understanding. If it does go sideways, I don't think it will. But if it does, then I am prepared to see that as well. Because I really don't know. This is what I feel. This is what feels right to me. And this is what I follow, my intuition. And we all have to follow our own intuition. So I just wanted to mention that as well. Because again, people were sending me messages about Mr. T. Oh, look, he is working with Israel to create this great Israel. And see, he is dark anyway. And this had to do with his how he views the Gaza and what he wants to do in that area. He actually brought out that he wants to, replace, how to say this. Let's see if I can find the article. He wants to clean out the whole thing. That's actually what he said. But he really wants to bring these people, the Palestinians, towards Egypt or Jordan, and wants to help them there live in peace. That's what he's saying. So he's not looking down on them, but he's mentioning that there's been so much conflict there, and really there's nothing there. It's all demolished, and you can see really people returning to their homes, and there is nothing really there. And of course, I understand people immediately. I'm going to see this in like, oh, he's really dark energy. So obviously, he wants to. Yeah, they still want to build that temple. It has to do with the dark energies and their agenda there. I had immediately the feeling that it's much bigger than we know. That some things that, we just don't see. And I really don't see, how to say this. I believe that I'm only seeing like this very small tiny bit of what is really going on, the truth of what's going on. Of course, I share it, and of course, it's interesting. Other people, of course, sharing their ideas and thoughts. But how much do we really see? How much do we really know? And to me, it felt like there was something completely different going on there. And he's trying to protect the people there. Because I had a feeling maybe, the dark energies there, and like the letter of the alphabet mentioned that they've saved Israel for last, that there might be still something coming out from there, and that he might still try to create a disastrous thing happening, and he is in a way trying to protect these people. I'm not even sure if this is actually going to happen. He's already in talks with Egypt and Jordan, but they are really not looking forward to getting all these people out of there. And there's a lot of political things happening there. But I just wanted to take a look with my cards, what's going on. Well, first of all, we've got the Devil card. So this has to do with the dark energies. But in what way? Well, we have the central card, the Five of Cups. I believe that Mr. T and the Whiteheads are trying to make sure there's not going to be more devastation if they have this in mind and if this actually is going to happen. I'm not even sure if it's going to happen. It's like they're moving things in a certain way. It has to do with the chess game, but it has to do with sadness, disappointment, a lot of pain. This is the Seven of Swords. Of course, they're trying to get away with this is in the past, but still to this day, I believe that Benjamin is not happy with what is going on now in the area. Of course, the ceasefire and the exchange of hostages. He really wants to continue what he's been, what he wants to do. So he's most likely going to create something there to, get people worked up again. But this is in the past, so they've been trying really not, getting away with things, not to move ahead or in a different direction. We have the Ace of Cups, so that's a new beginning emotionally. And I believe Mr. T and the Whiteheads really want to start something completely different there. I believe they want to create like a different state called Judea. But of course, they will have to handle Israel first. That is my perspective. And then we have the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. So there's so much going on. Help, support people, working together, cooperating, new information coming out. That's the page. And I also was looking at the back of the deck when I was shuffling the cards, and I've got the Page of Wands. So to me, this feels Whiteheads are trying to make sure that it will be as safe as possible. And obviously things happen. Unfortunately, with people will happen, especially with the dark energies, completely in panic mode. The people or the puppets that are still left, so that they could still create a lot of chaos, especially in that area. So we'll have to wait and see. But to me, it feels like he's trying to protect. He's trying to move things in, put things in motion. So I'm not sure if this plan will actually happen, but if it does, it most likely has a different reason. That's how I see it. Always listen to your own intuition in that case. And I'd like to leave it at this, and I hope to see another video. Bye.